Anti-siphon. There's also measures in place in the filtration system that if it senses a loss of suction, it shuts down the systems.
Okay. So if something gets blocked in there big enough, it shuts it right down.
Should shut down.
So there is
So
safety.
they have been
and
made
also,
safety.
I've noticed there's been kill switches on hot tubs. So if something happens, you hit the red button and it shuts off no matter what. Okay, so that's all part of this?
It's all part of the...
Now, you were talking about hot tubs. Let's talk about those for a second. Hot tub in a spa.
Okay, hot tubs and spas, relatively simple. They're a self-contained unit. They're put on your property. You don't need the fences all around them. The only requirement for those is that you have the safety cover that has the straps and it has the clip locks, and that it's covered and locked when not in use.
Right, which most people cover
Simple
it anyways,
enough.
yeah.
Simple enough. They keep them covered because they're heated, but it is important to make sure the safety cover's on. They're not left in the yard with just the cover down and not locked.
Yeah, and these are available anywhere, so you can just get one and put it in your truck and bring it home and set it up.
Fill it in with water.
Heat it
have
up.
the licensed electrician come in, get the permit, have it wired.
So they don't plug in then, you have to have those hardwired.
Most of them are hardwired.
Okay. Now, okay, getting back to that now, so hot tubs, that's fairly simple.
Okay, then we go to above ground pools.
Above ground pools, because I have a question on above ground pools.
Okay.
And that is about fencing.
Okay.
Now, to me, and they have above ground pools that they have a deck around them, and then there's like a 3-foot fence that's on top of that deck. Now, as long as that fence is how high, are we good?
Well, let's talk about the pool as a barrier.
Okay.
If the pool is 4 feet high, which most of them are, some are now 54.
Yeah.
That's your barrier.
Okay. So that's all you need.
That's your barrier. Some of them, especially the 48-inch ones, and I have one end of mine's only 3 feet off grade. However, has the fence above it.
Okay, that's
my fence is 6 feet, 7 feet high.
Right.
Okay. What we have to protect on an above-ground pool is the entryway or the ladder. There's 3 different functions. There's the safety ladder that folds up.
Yep.
And latches and has a place for a lock.
Right, that's the most common.
Most common. And that latch has to be a 54 inches or above, which it will be because it usually hooks at the top of the ladder.
Most people, even short people like me, got to reach for it a little bit. It's usually around that high, you know, right around 6 feet high.
Okay, so that's the simplest.
Okay.
Now we have above ground pools with the ladders that are always down, or someone builds a set of stairs going up to it. The bottom of those stairs needs that safety gate, 48 inches high.
Okay.
With a latch, 54 inches. It's like a plunger.
Right.
Which we have pictures we'll show.
So baby gate won't work then, right? Even if it's mounted in?
Baby gate won't work.
Okay.
A 3-foot gate will not work.
All right.
That 48-inch gate, that 48 inches is the magic number.
Okay.
At a minimum. And again, the spacing applies.
Right. 2 inches off the bottom.
2 inches from grade.
Yeah.
Self-latching. All gates must be self-latching, which means spring-loaded hinges. When you let it go,
it closes.
It will close. It will latch. Another important thing that applies to above ground and in ground with any gate, the gate must swing away from the pool area, not into the pool area. One of the reasons for that is a child's first tendency to a gate is to push. So the gate cannot go in.
Got to open out.
If it didn't latch. If anything, he'd be latching the gate. He or
Yep.
she would be latching the gate. So it must swing away from the pool.
Okay.
And that's the same with a fence around the perimeter of a in-ground pool. All gates must swing away from the pool area. But back to the above-ground pool, the second option was the gate at the bottom of the steps. Some people want to build a deck on their above-ground pool.
Right.
That's fine, as long as you have a gate that swings away from the pool, 48 inches, meets the spacing requirements, which is all listed in Appendix G.
Now, this Appendix G, let's stop for a minute. Now, this Appendix G is good stuff, but Appendix G is what?
Appendix G has been
Someone watching at home wants to know what Appendix G is.
Appendix G, first of all, so I don't forget to let the viewers know, you can pick one of these up at the building department at no charge.
Oh, there you
Okay.
go. Now, the building department, just so you know, is in the town hall. You walk up the stairs and you walk down to the bottom
We're on
level.
the bottom level.
And that's the building department. You'll see the big window there, and it'll have all the signs and everything. So if you've never been, you've been to the town hall a million times and never knew where they keep the inspectors, it's down there.
And I have the Appendix G for anyone to take and to use, and we'll get into a little more of that later. However, Appendix G is in the 2009 International Residential Code, which we utilize as our state code, 8th edition, under CMR 780, which is our code.
Right.
The state has adopted the international codes.
Right, but they'd want to come down to the building department anyways when they apply for their permits.
Absolutely.
When you apply for your permit, then they'll point you in all the right direction.
And what I've been trying to do is attach one of these with the permit. However, if the contractor applies for the permit and obtains the permit and gets this, for some reason it never gets to the homeowner. So I also try to drop one off when I do a rough inspection for a rebar inspection, the hole inspection for an in-ground. An above-ground pool, I'm not there until the end.
Right.
And I'd like to have them take care of the issues before I make an inspection. I've got 6 inspections in my tray from last August that people have not followed up on. It's a battle. It's a battle to see that safety measures are in place.
Right, and it's important stuff. I mean,
Very
this is-
important.
This goes beyond paying a fee for a permit. I mean, if something ever goes wrong, God forbid, right? And that's gonna you have something and there's insurance
right.
and attorneys and everything else. They're gonna know if you had your pool, if your pool was installed properly, if you're up to code on everything, because those are the kind of things people look for when there's trouble.
There's another important thing I'd like to mention is that the codes change. And there's several pools out there that were code compliant several years ago that are still in place. The gates were 36 inches. The fencing was 36 inches.
And that was okay.
That was okay. The spacing was 6 inches. The gates did not have to self-latch.
Right. And so these pools aren't grandfathered in then?
Well, by code, it's existing.
Yeah.
However, what I'd like to get across to people, if they can upgrade it, it would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah. Plus, it's a safety thing.
It's a safety thing for their own family and
Now,
children.
these rules have changed due to problems. I mean,
Due to problem. That's how codes change. Unfortunately, things happen. And then how can we correct what happened? And that's how they come up with different codes. Such as this, it's make the spaces smaller, make the fences higher, make the gates self-latch. But basically, that takes care of above-ground pools.
okay.
There's other issues with building a deck from the above-ground pool to the dwelling. And we're going to treat that the same as if you had an in-ground pool and you use the house as a barrier, meaning you have a fence at this corner of the house
Yep.
going out around your pool, and it comes back to this corner of the house, and you're using your dwelling
Right.
as a barrier,
As part of the fence.
as part of the fence.
Sure, which most people do.
Most people do. However, the statistics say that you can prevent up to 90% of fatalities between 1 and 5 years old, between birth and 5 years old, by having that pool separated with its own fence and not using the house as a barrier.
Okay.
The code says you can do it as a barrier. However, there's more rules now that apply. Any door that goes out from the house,
Right, I was just going to ask you about that.
and it's specific to doors. I don't know why it doesn't say windows, but it's specific to doors. This could be the bulkhead door coming out of the cellar. This could be the door going out to your porch. This could also be that one door you have coming out of your garage, if that's also in the fenced-in area.
Sure.
They must have an alarm. The alarm must be 54 inches high in the interior, so a child can't touch the button.
Yeah.
It has a button that will deactivate it for 15 seconds for an adult.
Right.
To push the button and go out. If you have a screen, you also need one on the screen. So if the
Okay.
door's open, be honest with you, the last resort, they're a nuisance. I haven't had anyone tell me they like the alarm.
Right. I can see why they wouldn't.
They wouldn't. If you're going out to cook a burger,
Yeah, you're in and out 5
you
times.
know, you're hitting the button all
Right.
the time.
You're on the grill, yeah.
So what happens? People get annoyed. After the safety inspection, they take the battery out.
And that's the
They've
end of it.
lost the safety measures.
Right.
However, we noted on our inspection request that the alarms are in place and everything, the gates work.
Yeah.
We have record if it was there or not.
Right.
So anyway, getting back to the alarms, they are required on all the doors that have access to the swimming pool area. Or, if you don't have an alarm, you must have a safety cover, which is listed under, it's ASTM. I've got the number here somewhere. If you can help
Yep,
me out.
ASTM 1346.
That's the one. That's the cover that you need. Thanks for that. And
Yeah,
I
no.
have mine highlighted and I didn't see it. It's been a long 2 days of seminars for building safety.
You have yours highlighted. I'm not wearing my
There
glasses.
you go. So that's the pool cover you would have to have if you do not have the alarms on the doors.
Now, what is a powered safety cover?
That is a safety cover that goes over the pool. It's usually in tracks or runners. That it's electronically operated.
Oh.
Some of them are. Some of them are crank. That you can either cover the pool when you're not using it, or uncover it when you're using it. Again,
Well,
if
most
you don't
people like
cover
to
the
cover
pool,
the pool anyways. It builds the heat during.
some act as a solar cover.
Yeah, some is a solar cover. and Plus, it
Exactly.
keeps the leaves and grass and everything out of your pool.
There's one other means that you can use if you don't have the alarms and you don't have the safety cover. And this is at the discretion of the building professional.
Okay.
So my recommendation would be, if you want to use a self-closing door for your patio door,
Yeah.
which again can be a nuisance.
Right. But
Has to be
your storm door is
self-latching.
self-closing.
A storm door would be.
Self-closing door.
Self-closing, self-latching, approved by the governing body, which is the building inspector.
That would be you in this case.
It will be acceptable as long as the degree of protection afforded is not less than that afforded by the alarm or the safety pool cover, which would be at our discretion.
Okay.
But I would strongly urge you run it by us and question us on it. Or if you have a data sheet, if it says it meets or exceeds the 1346 cover or the 2017 alarm, then it satisfies the code.
Okay. And then needless to say, all electrical outlets around any pool have to be GFCI.
They do, and that would be more of a question for the
inspector.
electrical inspector.
But it's a safety
But
thing.
I know a convenience outlet for a radio
Radio.
has to be at least 10 feet from the water surface.
Right.
There's also other things that come into play if someone has a cabana. Safety glass.
Oh, and
Within so many feet of the pool, glass has to be safety glass.
Right.
So
that's why everybody uses plastic cups.
And you shouldn't have glass at the pool anyhow.
Right.
It's also a good idea to have a cell phone handy at the pool in the event of an emergency, because minutes save lives.
Yep.
And if you can call the fire department in an emergency, and they're there 1 minute earlier, could mean the difference between life,
Oh, yeah.
death, or neurological disorder or brain damage.
Right. Now, what do you say to what do you say to someone that says, yeah, but pools are just supposed to be fun and yada yada yada. What and you know what's going to happen because and again, pools are supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be enjoyable, and we're hitting you with a heavy dose of regulations all at once here that you probably are saying, what?
This is not meant to frighten someone
Okay.
from getting a swimming pool. By all means, get a pool, enjoy it. I've had one since 1989. It's fantastic.
He's still got the same water, I know.
Same
Lee.
one. So they take good care of it.